So we now have some good news regarding that war between Russia and Ukraine. According to experts, there is a very high likelihood that this war ends over the next about 3 months. Now, I'm going to break down what's going on, but also what the good news is, because just so you know, in the past week, we have actually heard that Russian military officials contacted the United States to discuss certain things. So I'm going to break down what happened there, what Russia is doing at this time, why both the United States and Russia are concerned because of the troops that are being lost both in Ukraine, but also in Russia. So again, I'll break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. Takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So today we have a lot of different articles that we need to get to. The first one is this, where Russian military calls U.S. generals in a rare communication. This was just published today, but the reports indicate that these calls happened over a week ago. Look at this right here. It says Russian military officials contacted U.S. generals is one of the first official communications between the two militaries since Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022. It said that this contact, it says officials from both Washington and Moscow confirmed on Thursday that a call had taken place between Russia and the U.S. chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Charles Brown, on November 17th. This was at the request of the Russian military. It says the call saw the two generals discuss Russian naval operations, with Gerasimov giving Brown an advance warning of Russian drills in the Mediterranean Sea so that U.S. ships and other NATO forces would not misinterpret them as an act of aggression. Keep in mind, Russia has been doing certain things over the past couple of years without letting the United States know, without letting NATO have any knowledge of it. And then we find out as it's happening, and then we kind of misinterpret it as an act of aggression. Well, they came out and said, this is what we're doing. These are the drills. This is where it's going to take place. Don't worry. That's actually really good news. Now, let's get to the next one. Look at this. It says, U.S. plans an avalanche of Kyiv military aid as Putin's forces to use any means to win. Here's what you need to understand. Vladimir Putin made it very clear. He will use any means necessary to win the war between Russia and Ukraine. Russia is not going to go back to Moscow with nothing after they've lost hundreds of thousands of troops. Okay? Here's the issue. It says the U.S. committed to delivering hundreds of thousands of artillery rounds, thousands of rockets, and hundreds of armored vehicles by mid-January. The key here is the date mid-January, because on January 20th, 2025, President Biden would no longer be the president. It would then be President Donald Trump. Donald Trump has no plans to send additional military equipment over to Ukraine. No money, no troops, no equipment, no nothing, but wants to negotiate a peace deal. Look at this. This is part of the issue, because the White House now knows that they're going to have a very difficult time sending any additional equipment, any additional aid over to Ukraine. Russia knows this as well, but Russia has their own issues. Again, Russia and Ukraine are both suffering. As a result, they're both looking for somebody to come in, negotiate this peace deal so they can come together peacefully and then separate. Look at this. Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, this was just on Wednesday, he rejected President Biden's request for $24 billion in new Ukraine aid. It says right here, okay, House Speaker Mike Johnson on Wednesday rejected a White House request to pass $24 billion in additional aid for Ukraine by the end of the year, saying any further assistance for Kyiv would be decided by President-elect Trump when he assumes office in January. Says, I'm not planning to do that. There is no way he is sending additional funds over to Ukraine when right now everyone's looking at our deficit, the amount of money that the United States continues to spend. We're not sending more money to Ukraine. So now Ukraine has to decide, can they get other allies in to support them? Well, we did learn just today that Justin Trudeau from Canada is planning an additional ban on firearms. And so he's considering sending all those firearms. I think there's like 320 some bans that he's considering sending all those weapons over to Ukraine so that they can use them, because he doesn't want them in his country. But look at this one. Speaker Mike Johnson also goes one step further. Not only did he block any potential additional aid of $24 billion to Ukraine from the White House, look at this. Speaker Mike Johnson also says that there will be no aid on the year-end spending stopgap bill. This bill has to be passed by December 20th. His plan is there will be nothing for Ukraine in this. That's concerning. Okay, that is extremely concerning, mainly for the fact that, again, right now we are seeing Ukraine is begging for additional aid, additional money, additional equipment, okay, munitions, everything. They need it to help hold off Russia. Well, here's where things get really interesting. Look at this report. This is from yesterday. This says, in Ukraine, more exhausted soldiers are abandoning their post. It says criminal cases for AWOL troops rise sixfold, according to the prosecutor. It says frontline soldiers serve indefinitely as reinforcements are scarce. Here's the issue, okay? We are seeing that troops in Ukraine that are on the front lines are fighting, putting their lives at risk. Here's the issue. There's no reinforcements coming. None, or it's very slim. But then on the Russia side, they have reinforcements. They're not Russian. They're actually from North Korea. So that's the issue there, is North Korea is providing Russia with additional troops. They're coming in. They're fighting on the front lines. There's 10,000 plus of them. But Ukraine doesn't have any reinforcements. So now they're kind of falling back. Look at this. I told you this the other day as well, that the White House was pressing Ukraine to draft 18-year-olds in the draft so that they can battle against Russia. Guess what? Ukraine has it where their age is 25. So there's 7 years of fighting age men that Ukraine could use, but they're deciding not to. Yeah. So President Biden says you should actually draft those people. You should draft those 18 to 25-year-olds because you are absolutely going to need them. Well, here's how bad things are getting. Right now, according to reports, Russia is losing. Russia has lost 750,000 troops in this full-scale war. That's as of today. Okay? I want to show you something. Look at this. It says right here in the details, the total combat losses of the Russian forces between the 24th of February 2022 and the 6th of December 2024 are estimated to be as follows. It says approximately 750,610 military personnel. Okay? 9,514 tanks. 19,518 armored combat vehicles. Okay, these are losses from Russia. 21,043 artillery systems, 1,253 multiple launch rocket systems, 1,020 air defense system, 369 fixed wing aircrafts, 329 helicopters, 20,023 tactical and strategic UAVs, 2,857 cruise missiles, 28 ships/boats, 1 submarine, 30,899 vehicles and fuel tankers, and 3,633 special vehicles and other equipment. Yeah, Russia has taken on a complete loss, but they're not stopping. We also know in a report also today that Russia is losing roughly 138 troops per square mile gained in Ukraine. This is why some are saying that they are just waiting for Donald Trump to step in, negotiate this peace deal, because not only is Ukraine hoping that this ends quickly, Russia is also hoping this ends quickly as well, because they continue to lose more and more personnel, more and more equipment, and it's turning into a big mess. Now, here's where things are at. Donald Trump does have a plan. He's made it very clear to the Ukrainian president, Volodymyr Zelensky, that NATO is off the table. They will not be part of NATO. There's no way that's going to happen. He's also made it very clear that if the United States is going to continue to support Ukraine, the only way we will do that is Ukraine has to give up the territory that Russia currently occupies. If that happens, Russia has to pull out the rest of Ukraine, pretty much draw back to the territories that they occupy, or to actually mainland Russia, right? And they'll just go there. Here's what we are seeing right now. Russia and Ukraine wait warily for Trump transition and subsequent peace talks. People right now, according to reports, in certain areas of Ukraine aren't even fighting. They're simply just sitting there, buying their time, waiting until January 20th, 2025. How scary would that be? That you have no idea what to do. You're running out of munitions. You don't have support. Okay? You're any personnel coming in to sit in your place aren't coming. People are going AWOL because they are tired of this. It's been going on for over 2 years. Yeah, they're done. All they're doing right now is waiting for President-elect Donald Trump to step in, negotiate this peace deal, and get them all back to their homes. Get them safely back to their families, their friends, and to the lives that they once had. So, that's where we're at today. Just wanted to share this with you. Again, I know a lot of people are talking about this war. It's going to go on forever and ever. Honestly, I don't think it will. I think the discussions that are being had right now are actually making some pretty good headway. It's just a matter of time. That's it. So, as we get more information on this, I promise I will bring you all the latest news and updates, but that is what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.